San Antonio has homes worth over $10 million. And some zip codes have jumped over $100,000 in just 1 year. But the real question, which neighborhoods are becoming San Antonio's next millionaire magnet? And how can you get in there before anybody else does? In this video, we're gonna do just that. Let's break it down. So how do we actually break down which areas in San Antonio are the most expensive to live in? Is it just about who has the fanciest mailboxes? Or maybe which gated neighborhood has the most amount of deer walking through it? No. It's a cocktail of factors. Price per square foot, schools, demand, and sometimes a little bit of sprinkling of celebrity neighbors. And here in San Antonio, well, the spread is pretty wild. On one end of the spectrum, you got properties that are $150 a square foot. On the other end of the properties, over $650 a square foot. That's a four-fold difference. Let's put that into perspective. A 3,000 square foot house in one part of San Antonio could run you about $450,000. In another part of San Antonio, that same footprint is gonna run you $2 million. So what drives that difference? Three big things: perception, schools, and lifestyle. Now let's start with perception. Luxury is just about as much image as it is about the construction. If an area has a reputation for wealth, exclusivity, or old money prestige, that perception alone can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to property values. Think of it this way. A Rolex watch doesn't tell time any better than a Timex, but one signals status. Neighborhoods work the exact same way. Next on the list is the school district. For families in their 40s and 50s, like myself, and especially for those that are thinking long-term down the road, school districts will make or break your buying decision. If you buy a home in a top-rated school district, you're not just buying the house, you are buying future demand. Parents will always pay a premium to put their kid in top-rated schools. And that means even if the market cools off, your neighborhood will hold value better than others. And finally, lifestyle. And this is the X factor. Are we talking walkable boutique shopping and fine dining, or sprawling acreage where you can ride horses at sunset? Each of these has its own kind of luxury. And in San Antonio, you can get both. And that's why selling real estate in San Antonio, Texas is so fascinating. Unlike some other cities that may only have one luxury corridor, say Beverly Hills out in Los Angeles, we have multiple flavors of high-end living here. And in just a minute, we're gonna talk about one of the most exclusive areas in all of South Texas. Even a place that's so private, even the deer need an invite to get through the gates here. All right, number one on this list, the Dominion. And if you spent any time at all in San Antonio, you've heard the name. And if you haven't, well, buckle up, because this place is essentially Fort Knox with golf carts. This neighborhood isn't just gated, it's layered. Security checkpoints, 24/7 security, private country club, and homes that look like something straight out of an Architectural Digest magazine. Some homes here stretch way past $10 million. And we're talking Olympic-sized swimming pools, 10 plus car garages, custom wine centers that would make anyone in Napa Valley envious, and home theaters that'll rival an AMC. But here's the kicker. The median home price in the Dominion is just over $1 million. Which means, yes, there are multi-million dollar estates, but there are also luxury homes that may be more approachable than you think. It just depends on where you're coming from. Beyond the homes themselves, the Dominion is all about community status. You're not just buying a house, you're buying the community and the lifestyle that it represents here. Like I mentioned, private country club, exclusive golf events, charity galas, and yes, celebrity neighbors. In fact, some of the city's most recognizable athletes and business moguls live in this community. I've got a couple buddies that are members there, and they routinely run into ex-NFL players and current NBA Spurs players all the time. And what's fascinating is how the Dominion straddles two different identities. On one hand, you have the ultra-modern architecture. Sleek lines, glass walls, Tesla car charging stations in the garages. On the other hand, you'll find homes that are like Mediterranean estates with terracotta roofs, huge courtyards. It's like a mashup of Beverly Hills and Tuscany. Now let's talk Dominion numbers. The Dominion has outpaced any other luxury area in San Antonio, hands down. In the past decade, Home values here have risen over 75%. And for investors, the rental demand, it's off the charts. Corporate relocations, military families on high housing allowances, and even short-term executive rentals drive demand. So whether you're a high-end user dreaming of that golf course view or an investor looking for long-term wealth growth, the Dominion delivers both. But here's the catch. The Dominion definitely is not for everyone. The HOA dues here range from $220 a month all the way to over $600 a month. Plus, with the strict architectural controls, you're definitely paying for the rules here. You want to paint your house neon green? Forget about it. You want to keep goats in the backyard? I don't think so. But for buyers that want prestige, security, and an address that says you've arrived, this is the spot for you. All right, next on the list, one of my favorites, Alamo Heights. If the Dominion is like Fort Knox, Alamo Heights is like that country club that your grandparents went to, and you're still trying to get in. I always tell buyers that are relocating to San Antonio that Alamo Heights is kind of like the Beverly Hills, with a little splash of Riverwalk charm. The streets are lined with mature oak trees. The homes here ooze character. And yes, this is where tradition meets trend. Let's start off with prices. Homes in Alamo Heights range from around the $700,000 price point all the way north of $3 million. And what really sells it here isn't just the houses, it's the vibe. You want to be in the 09 group because the zip code here is 78209. They call them the 09ers. Walkable shops, cozy coffee houses, art galleries, super cool eclectic restaurants that have all been around for decades. This neighborhood doesn't just offer charm, it's big on culture. Now let's get a little analytical. Alamo Heights ISD is consistently rated one of the top school districts in all of Texas. And because of that, families will pay a premium to get their kids into the school district. That kind of demand makes Alamo Heights the most recession-resistant area in all of San Antonio. Another unique aspect, the architecture. And here, you will find Spanish Revival homes from the 1900s sitting right next to ultra-sleek modern homes with glass walls and steel beams. That kind of contrast adds character and charm that you just don't get in those cookie cutter neighborhoods. And because the land is ultra scarce here, tear down and rebuild projects like you see on the West Coast are pretty common. That also means if you're an investor, people like you are constantly circling this area, buying the older homes, scraping the lot, and putting up something brand new. So you may be thinking, what's the trade-off? Well, Alamo Heights certainly comes with higher property taxes than other areas in San Antonio. Plus, there's just older infrastructure in parts of the neighborhood. That means buyers need to budget for more than just the home, but for upgrading things like plumbing and the electrical. But for many, that is a very small price to pay to purchase an address that comes with stability, reliability, and charm. Now let's move into Terrell Hills. It's an enclave in San Antonio near Alamo Heights that many people overlook until you see it in person. And once you do, you'll understand why so many wealthy families choose to live here than other flashier neighborhoods. Median home prices range around $600,000 here, which definitely sounds approachable for a luxury community. But don't be fooled. It's not uncommon for some residences here in Terrell Hills to soar well above $3 million, especially the historic ones. And here's what I love about Terrell Hills. It's refined without being pretentious. You're not gonna see a bunch of neon lit McMansions here. Instead, you're gonna find homes that whisper wealth without shouting it. Another big draw, the school district. You see, Terrell Hills sits within Alamo Heights ISD, which means you're getting the exact same top-tier education as our friends over in Alamo Heights are. And because of that, the demand here stays steady, even during some market slowdowns. And parents, they're gonna pay a premium for that consistency, because that contributes to long-term property value resiliency. And let's talk lifestyle. Terrell Hills is just minutes away from San Antonio Country Club, which I still haven't played, the Pearl, which is one of my wife and I's favorite places to go, and downtown. But inside the boundaries, it feels like a totally different world. We've got winding streets, mature trees, and a level of privacy that you just don't find in new developments. Of course, all that greatness comes with a price. The older infrastructure means some homes are gonna need updating. We've had a client buy a home here in this area and the electrical panel was from the 1960s. So obviously stuff like that's gonna need to be updated. And obviously property taxes are gonna be much higher here than in some of the outlying areas. But for buyers who value quiet elegance, history, and exclusivity, all without the flash, Terrell Hills is an absolute gem. Okay, let's talk about one of my other favorites, Almost Park. If Terrell Hills whispers elegance, Almost Park sings it with a backdrop of green space. See, this is one of those neighborhoods where you can live in a mansion and still walk to a coffee shop, boutique shopping, or even to the local park. That blend of luxury and convenience makes it one of San Antonio's most sought after places to live. Median home prices here run comfortably in the $600s up to the $850,000 range. But high-end properties, they will easily cross that $2 to $3 million threshold, especially if you factor in some of the larger lot sizes and if the home has had higher end recent renovations. And Almost Park offers something other luxury areas don't, an incredible balance between urban convenience and suburban tranquility. You are literally less than 10 minutes from downtown, but when you're in Almost Park, you feel like you're in a leafy oasis. Almost Park delivers in real estate fundamentals. This area is known for its large lots, winding roads, and community feel. Many homes here have been owned by the same families for decades, which means the turnover is low and the demand stays ultra high. And here's another kicker. Almost Park, take a guess where it sits. You got it, firmly in Alamo Heights ISD, which adds another layer of demand for families that want the charm of Almost Park, but that strong reputation of a phenomenal school district. I know what you're thinking, so Rob, what's the trade-off? I'll tell you. Similar to Terrell Hills, you're gonna deal with some older infrastructure here. Many homes here are considered historic, which means buyers are gonna need to budget for renovation and maintenance. And of course, you're paying for exclusivity. You're not gonna find any bargain hunters making moves here. But here's the bottom line. If you want a neighborhood where luxury meets lifestyle, where you can jog through tree-lined streets in the morning and grab lunch at a bistro or a cafe in the afternoon, this is your jam. Okay, we're gonna shift gears and I'm gonna surprise some of you with this one. Hill Country Village. This one is for the land lovers, the privacy seekers, and folks that say, yeah, I'll take the big house and a big chunk of land. Hill Country Village is unique because it offers the best of both worlds. You're inside the San Antonio metro, but when you're here, you feel like you're living out in the Texas Hill Country. Median home prices are over $1 million, but what really sells this neighborhood isn't the houses, it's definitely the land. Think about it. 5 to 10 acres of land filled with trees, tucked away in a private setting, where you can hop on Highway 281 and be downtown in 15 minutes. Here's the kicker. Acreage here equals freedom. You want goats? Cool, bring them. You want to build a guest house or two? You can do that here too. Unlike stricter neighborhoods like the Dominion, Hill Country Village has far less restrictions, which means you can actually live the lifestyle you want. But here's the investment perspective. Land is finite. In the city core, the lots are shrinking. New builds are crammed into quarter-acre lots, and in the Hill Country Village, you're sitting on 5 acres. That scarcity is what keeps values high and climbing. And of course, the trade-offs are real. Homes here come with higher maintenance costs, and you're gonna have to mow acres, not a postage stamp lot. And some of the water utility bills, well, if you're watering 10 acres, well, you can imagine how expensive that could be. But if you want privacy, prestige, and the kind of lifestyle that only living on 10 acres brings, this is for you. So whether it's career momentum, family needs, or investment savvy, especially middle-aged buyers, see these luxury neighborhoods not just as houses, but as a place where their next chapter begins. And if you think the city limits is where all the action ends, you're in for a surprise. Because right outside the city limits, rural construction is booming, giving you space to breathe, but the prices are rising fast. So some areas just outside San Antonio are where some of the best and most elite custom home builders are pushing to next. We're talking areas like Floresville, Lavernia, Adkins, even as far east as Seguin. We're seeing some beautiful custom homes being popped up on acreage. And buying early here means catching that appreciation before it peaks. Of course, living out here, there are some trade-offs. You have longer commutes, less built-up development, and likely fewer amenities in the subdivisions. Your internet speeds definitely are not going to be fiber fast. Your trip to the grocery store may cost you 20 minutes instead of 5. But for many buyers, especially ones looking in that move-up category, that's a small price to pay for privacy, space, and long-term growth. So here's the big takeaway here. It's not about just luxury living. They're about smart investing, super strong school districts, being a part of a community, and building a kind of future that your family and your finances can thrive in. Now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these communities surprised you most today? Drop your answer in the comments below. I would love to know what you thought about it. And if you're seriously thinking about making the move to the greater San Antonio area, or if you're just interested in buying, selling, or investing in the area, we got you covered. Scan this code right here, puts you in direct contact with me, where myself, serving the greater San Antonio area, or anyone on our team can help you in Texas or even nationwide. So I talked a little bit about the rural living in San Antonio. Well, this community right here is one of the biggest growing areas in the entire state. Check it out. We'll see you in the next video.